you have come across the ones that Sheikh Kalejaye has also written. We say big thank you to you for coming. Jazakumullah khair jaza. Yes, left to him, I also have okay. Okay, the topic is going to speak on is going to tell us something about Islamic family and polygamy in the contemporary feminist world. Prospects and challenges. 15 minutes. That's the keynote. Bismillah. So I'm sure we need to just come up with a pen and paper so as to write certain things. Prospects and challenges. Yes, the Sheikh is just spending 15 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We give glory to Almighty Allah, the creator of earth and heaven, for giving us the grace to be alive, to witness the golden jubilee era of Sheikh This is emphasized in Quran Surah An-Nisa verse 3. If you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with the orphans, marry women of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with them, there's only one or a captive that your right hand possess, that will be more suitable to prevent you from doing injustice. The permission for polygamy in Islam is seen as a solution to certain societal issues, such as caring for widows and orphans, or in situations where women outnumber men. It also allows for the fulfillment of various human needs within the boundaries of Islamic law. However, it is important to note that polygamy is not a requirement in Islam, but a permission with strict conditions. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ emphasized the importance of treating all women or all wives equally and justly, both emotionally and materially. It is also recommended for a man to seek the agreement and consent of his first wife when trying to marry a second wife. In today's world, while polygamy is permitted in Islam, many Muslims choose not to practice it due to the challenges and responsibilities it entails. It is essential for individuals to consider the ethical, emotional, and practical implications of polygamy before making such a decision. Ultimately, the decision to marry multiple wives is a personal one within the boundaries set by Islamic law, and it is important for individuals to approach this matter with a thorough understanding of the teachings of Islam and the rights of all parties involved. Now, on a practical note, a woman went to America because one of her daughters has just put to bed. Her staying there was taking long, or longer than necessary. She spent about 6 months before coming back home. When the daughter gave birth the second time, this woman was there for about a year. The man now asked the woman, wouldn't it be okay for him to have a second wife, so that when she sat around, the man will have another woman to legally take care of him? The woman told him, if you are ready for a premature death, you can go ahead. But I'm very sure by the time I come back, I will feed you with otapia, and death will be the outcome of your life. So the man was afraid of death. Invariably, he refused to marry a second wife. When the woman went for a third omugo in America, the daughter was now put to bed the third time. The man fell sick and died. After a while, this woman now developed health complications, chronic stomach ache all the time. On visiting a personal doctor, he advised her that if you want to follow your husband quickly, go and remarry. By the time she got married to a married man. She now said, Allah is great. What I prevented my husband to do is what I've myself now fallen into. I did believe that this woman was like me. Will she have allowed me to marry her husband? And if I don't get this husband to marry, I will die and follow my first husband. Allah will never ordain anything that is not good for human being. Know this and know it very well. When you are buying any electronic material, it will come with the user's manual, isn't it? This world, when Allah created it, He created it with the user's manual. The user's manual for this world is the Holy Quran. Thank you. Motoba lakumina nisai. Masna wasulasa aruba. If Allah says, marry whichever pleases you among the women, 2, 3, 4, He knows what He is talking about. In this present day, what is amusing me is the fact that polygamy is only not good for a poor man, but for a rich man, nothing is wrong with polygamy. Look at Senator Nedinwoko. He keeps on amassing women every day, marrying new wives all the time, and everybody's applauding him. Many women now are rushing to marry rich men, regardless of his marital status. whether 3 or 4, they are ready to fall into that concubine. They only reject it if it is in the case of a poor man. That is the practical truth nowadays. Look at Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. When he became the Minister for Finance in Nigeria, her husband could not hold his body anymore. He had to go to befriend a lady whose boyfriend started blackmailing him and expunging money from him until he could not pay again, and it came into public domain. He fell into serious embarrassment. If it is Islamic environment, he will have easily go and marry a second wife to take care of his emotional needs, while the first wife is busy with state activities in Nigeria. Nowadays, look at all our CEOs in our industries. Is it Wema Bank, Zenith Bank, to mention but a few? They are all female, well-to-do, but single. Why? They will not combine the rigor of the business world or corporate world with the rigor of marital activities. Whereas if the husband has a second wife, that one will be taking care of the home front, while the CEO is busy with her official duties. And these people are not happy, unfortunately. They are only happy outside. When they get inside and they have the feeling, the urge for a man, they go for all these sex toys. And the sex toys do the work of a man. Leza Zakaru Kalehunsa. No sex toy can take the place of a proper husband. Know that. Those of them who wants to remain as single parents, they don't want to get married again. I have a child after all. These days, they are having problems of cervical cancer. I know of a woman whose husband went for a second wife. She refused to allow the husband to have any conjugal relationship with her for 15 years. She died 2 weeks ago of cervical cancer. The doctor diagnosed her and told her, "You have not had sex for a long time." That led to this cervical cancer, but it was too late. She died 2 weeks ago. We went to bury her in Majemu. When Allah says this is the way, don't create another way for yourself. That other way will only lead to serious problems, and regret will be the outcome of such journey. Look at our population. In the evening, go to places like Ojo Elegba, Allen Avenue, Ikoyi, and the like. Anu Abiyama Sheyi. You see all our ladies lining the streets because there's nobody to marry them. These days, 7 men are now fighting for 1 man. One up presently in London. Some of you are aware. You saw it on social media. While 2 women were physically fighting for a man. Islamic law and order is the way to follow if you want to have societal peace. We have many widows among us. They are going through emotional stress because there's nobody to marry them. We have this obnoxious attitude in Yoruba land. Offense, only leave me no poko. This is very wrong. These widows must be taken care of. In fact, if you marry a widow the benefit you will get from Allah is in multiple folds compared to marrying a single lady. So, brothers and sisters in Islam, let us embrace the teachings of the Holy Quran. Then somebody said, when you are talking about this, what about the feelings of this first woman who is taking a second woman as her mate in the house? Good. The Holy Prophet told us, if you marry two women and you are partial to one, you leave the other one in emotional distress. When Allah is raising you on the day of Qiyamah, you will be raised with half of your body totally paralyzed. When you now ask why this, say yes, because you have not been just with your two wives. What is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Remember, we are all ambassadors of Islam. Anything we want to do as far as polygamy is concerned, let us do it in a way that it will project the real value of Islam, the real intent of Allah. Yuridu bikum yusra, wallah yuridu bikum usra. Allah wants peace, ease for us. Doesn't want distress for our life. So give thanks to Almighty Allah and the opportunity to be here. Everything I've said here now is one of those things I've learned from my lecturer in University of Lagos State University, Dr. Bello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Let's say Allahu Akbar. Takbir once again. We appreciate the enormous contribution and what Sheikh Kalejai has just delivered right now. He has been able to tell us concerning Islamic family and polygamy in the contemporary feminine world. Yes, that is prospects and challenges. We say a big thank you to you. He was able to have cited the verse of the Quran. He was able to have told us a lot of things that is happening in the world when children are given birth to in the hospital, at their ratio of male to female. He has been to tell us all that. But in the verse that he has quoted, Quran chapter 4 verse 3, where Allah says, "Fankihu ma taba lakum minan nisa, mathna, wa sulasa, wa ruba'a." Yes, he didn't give us the rest. Wa in kiftun, Allah ta'adilu fawahida. Yes. If you are afraid of doing justice among your wives, marry one. On that note, I invite another let me invite another another panelist. On that, I welcome the chairman of Akoja local government, Honorable keynote address, Honorable Usman Hamza. You are most welcome. And also Professor Said Oluwarotimi Meyin, all the way from Lagos State University. You are also welcome. Yes, the keynote panelists. Somebody has spoken. I need to invite another panelist right now. Let me invite Ajia Vikratullah Abiodun Matesun Oshodi. Yes, we'll be discussing managing the inevitability in marriage, rights and responsibility of the couples. Before I hand over the microphone, I recognize Alhaji Tajuddin Samot. Osama Communication, you are welcome, sir. You have 15 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ولا أول ولا حي وزوي وباطن وهو على كل شيء قدير الحمد لله رب العالمين.
I would like to recognize the presence of Alhaja Samrat Osama. We say you are welcome, and we are happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. The celebrant, Imam Majemu, I join all the well wishers to wish you a very happy birthday and welcome to the 5th floor. Kò tọ́ sí mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ kéwú láti máa ṣe àdúrà fún àfáà yìí. Ọlọ́run kí ó túbọ̀ jẹ́ ká rí yín pẹ́ láti tóbi Ọlọ́run. When I got the invite, in fact, it will bear me witness, especially when I saw the flyer and I saw those who are on it. I just wrote immediately, mo gbé o, Imam kó mi sí àwọn ntí Imam kó mi sí. Who am I? What am I going to say? Where I have all my professors, all the ulamas, all the scholars. I mean, well, I took the courage because as Muslim, if I'm called outside, I can be given the accolades. It is better said in the presence of àwọn tí wọ́n bí wa, àwọn tí wọ́n tọ́ wa, so that the mistakes can be corrected. Tí ìtàyàn bá tún wá pè èèyàn, a lè mọ ibi tá a máa túnṣe sí. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Akramakumullah. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká rí yín pẹ́. Professor Timeyin, thank you. When the Imam just finished talking now, I said, ó tiẹ̀ dá. Àìṣe tótò tó díẹ̀ wípé kọ́ má sọ wípé obìnrin náà ò sí ń bẹ̀. Dà máa tiẹ̀ ka àwọn kẹ́pẹ̀pẹ́ tí wọ́n kọ́ mi. Mo wá rí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ Arabic ò pọ̀ púpọ̀ tó ẹ bá jẹ́ kí n tàbọ̀. We'll come back home to do that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Managing the inevitabilities in marriage rights and responsibilities of the couple. It is with immense pleasure I stand before you this blessed morning to discuss the topic. The topic is one that resonates with many couples, if not all. It is one that must be considered before proceeding in this peculiar and remarkable journey called marriage. And it will guide the couple through the marriage. The status of marriage in Islam cannot be overemphasized. Marriage is considered half of faith. Marriage should be considered a sacred pledge to Allah. The Holy Quran, Surah Al-Rum, verse 21, said a lot. Among the signs is this, you'll know it because of time. The Holy Prophet himself said, there's no institution in Islam more beloved and dearer to Allah than marriage. The purpose of marriage, according to the Holy Quran, is therefore the union of two souls which are one in essence. Their separate existence and unnatural state of their being, which changes into the natural state when they are united by marriage, and thus are brought close to each other physically, mentally, and emotionally. The union is not a temporary relationship between the couple. It is permanent and enduring relationship. Both parties are expected to put in their best effort towards an almost perfect harmony. Both parties in a marriage must consider the marriage as an act of worship, and anything done rightly in the marriage is for the sake of Allah. This mindset the pace for a successful marital life. I thank Allah. Wípé ìjókòó tèmi àwa ọkùnrin ẹ̀yin tẹ̀lé jẹ́ bàbá wa ló pọ̀ mbẹ̀. We are not afraid. And this I tell my Muslim sisters. I was at a gathering yesterday. A sọ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ something like depression. A lot is happening now. We had gone to the psychiatric hospital in the last 6 years. The statistics we had wasn't palatable. My organization had visited this same place about 8 years ago. Ààrí onínìkan, ààrí nìkan bite ń bẹ. Ààrí ìjà bite ń bẹ. Recently, we are seeing them. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin ni. Ẹ̀rù ọba odò wa, provided you can do it justly. Ìyẹn dẹ̀ ni mo ṣe feel wípé in fact this gathering is the best for it. Because ẹ̀yin lẹ ń kọ́ wa tẹ̀ ń ṣe wá sí i ní mímbà. Please educate them more. Kí ni ó fà á tí obìnrin máa ṣe gbúròó wípé ọkọ fẹ́ fẹ́yàwó tó dẹ̀ máa gún ọkọ pa? Àwọn ọmọ wà ńlẹ̀. For crying out loud, who is going to take care of those children? At the end of the day, she will be caught, sentenced, the husband is dead, and the children will be left to come and pín wọn lé orí ọmọ ọlọ́mọ láti tọ́. And the society is being ó ti wà porous to the extent that gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n tọ́ tí kò rí ẹ̀tọ́ yìí òun ló wá ń pàjọ jẹ. Unfortunately, we see them as Muslims. Is it not saddening? Is it not saddening? Let's go back to the drawing board. How can a woman àmọ́ yí pé a máa lọ ṣe omugọ̀ kọ́lọ́n kó túbọ̀ ṣe dáadáa fún wa? As a matter of fact, what we are telling them now. Anyway, the Gen Zs now are not even ready for you to come and stay with them for 3 months, 4 months. Because títọ́ wa gbọ́ ti yàtọ̀ sí tiwọn. Àwa gan la wá ń ranjú nísìnyí wípé ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣẹ̀tọ́ mi. Bọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ tó fi sílẹ̀ ó ju tàwọn ọmọ tó fẹ́ lọ tọ́ yìí lọ. We are telling ourselves this. But ẹ̀yin ni kẹ́ help wa. May Allah make it easy. We are coming to it. The inevitabilities in marriage. There are both positive and negative inevitabilities. Some of the positive ones are companionship, having someone who brings you closer to your Lord, having a confidant, and someone who motivates you, having someone who is always supportive of your life decisions and sexual pleasures, having offspring. The negative one, spouses criticize one another. Spouses are often hot-tempered, sarcasm or sarcastic tone, name-calling, lack of effective marriage communication with your spouse, misunderstanding each other's message, spouses having trust issues, having different marriage expectations, grudging over previous unresolved conflicts, having differences in opinion. Marriage, being a long-time relationship, also serves as a learning curve which allows for proper understanding of the inevitability in marriage, particularly the negatives and how to manage them. Managing this, one of them. As Muslims, one of the ways of managing the inevitable, particularly the negatives of marriage, is to always have it in your subconscious that this union called marriage is an amana. It's an amana. Unfortunately, from the research, kọ́lọ́n kó ṣe àforíjì fún wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣe sọ síwájú ọmọ kéwú ni mí, bọ̀ mo rí wípé mo máa ń like láti wà lágbo àwọn onímọ̀ púpọ̀ nítorí pé mo fẹ́ mọ̀. Wàláhì bí rọ́bìlì káàbà ẹ tún bẹ̀ ṣe. Àmọ́ náà yìí ti ń dàrú ẹ̀yin àgàgà tá a mọ̀ wípé a lè farati gẹ́gẹ́ bí àfa. Where are we going? And when they want to give us the examples, come àwa ní ṣèbẹ̀ rí ìmáàmù yẹn, ṣèbẹ̀ rí àfa yẹn, irú èmi ó máa ń dójú tì wá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún bẹ̀ ṣe. Ọlọ́run ó bí wa, ẹ̀yin lẹ kọ́ wa bẹ́ẹ̀. Let's go back. There's no harm in you having 2, 3, 4, provided that diverse scholars, provided I can be just, provided I can take care of them, provided I can do this. Are we doing it? May Allah make it easy for us. It is a trust with Allah. It is for the sake of Allah, and any act or omission done in the course of this marriage will be answered. Imam Sọlá ẹ̀kan nísìn, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe dáadáa, ṣé bí ẹ̀yin náà lè kọ́ wa? Apá kan báyìí, sísá bí kan ní we are not just doing it. Apá kan ó máa paralyze. And dúró de kí l'Ọlọ́run ó ṣe. ẹ má jẹ́ àṣẹ bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ tún bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe. Confront your spouse in a decent manner. Another way of managing the inevitable in marriage is by ensuring that there's constant communication between partners. Discuss them when they arise and ensure that you are calm and attentive to your partner when addressing it. Yes, I am the man, I am the head, I can do anything. And you do those things and send us to psychiatric hospital. No, we are your partners. Let's communicate. Kò sí ohun tó ń bọ̀ nílẹ̀tì astagfirullah ẹ̀rí kó fẹ́ ṣe nísìn nítorí pé àwọn àgbà wà ń jókòó. Kò sí ohun tó ń bọ̀ lókè tí ilé ò gbà ó pọ̀ nítorí ẹ̀ náà lẹ ṣe jẹ́ àfa. Nítorí ẹ̀ lẹ ṣe jẹ́ àfa èyí tẹ́ ẹ kọ́ wa dé ni. But what we are saying is communication. We know it. We acknowledge it. We believe it. You are the head. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní sọ yín dìrù. But we are your partners. We are not slaves. We are not non-entity. We have that break. Let's discuss together. Even if you are taking Martina, I told them yesterday, ẹni ìjà ò bá ló ń pèrè lọ́kùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. But if that woman, we women, rise up, beat me, Nika Dide, rise up to the fact that Sherry, gbogbo nta máa jẹ́ Ọlọ́run ó ṣe fún wa. Tí a bá wà kì í ṣe wípé a fẹ́ fi gbàgbàgà. They will always be the end. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní sọ wọ́n dìrù. But tí nǹkan bá wà lọ́wọ́, ó ní ronú pé tí ẹ fẹ́ méjì. A ní kó tún máa ṣàdúrà fún wípé wọ́n máa bá ẹ níjókòó tó máa padà wá. Ìyẹn kọ́. Kí ni nǹkan náà? Kí ni nǹkan náà? Àwọn náà dà. Àwa rèé. Àwa rèé. Èkó lè mi o. Ẹ wá bínú. But if you are empowered as a woman, kò mí wípé a fẹ́ compete, thank you. Kò mí wípé a fẹ́ show muscle, no. But at least to an extent, àti ẹ jẹ́ kó rí pé a ní dèrò psychiatric hospital. Can you imagine, sirs? Professor Tibehin, Dr. Bello, we gave one of our daughters in marriage just last year, August 13th. Last year. Today she's in psychiatric hospital. Why? So many things is the reason. But going by and large, wallahi tabak padabo. It is not you, but you are that gender. It is not you, but you are that gender. The things in the system now. Of course, that was why I said if the women are empowered. In Kota wa don gbe lọ síbi ilé yẹn as the marriage. I want to guarantee. I want to fair copy, and we are saying that now. Oh, kì í fi ago aláago ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹni tẹ́jọ́ marry lẹ́ni Ọlọ́run ló ń tò. Things might be better. Kó má jẹ́ bá. Lágbẹ́jà ní ìtẹ̀ ní check orí mi. Èmi náà ti ṣe kíní kan bá ọkọ mi ò provide kíní kan. Wọ́n so. Just like I cancelled one of them yesterday. No, day before yesterday, before the program. More emotional with tó wà lára ti ẹni yẹn náà. Mo wá ní irú kéèsì tẹ́ni yìí ní. Two things. Tí kò fi lè gbà fún ọkọ gan kan consummate after almost 9 months. Perhaps he might have been engaged or be crossed with. It might not be her directly, but nǹkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n ti ń bọ̀. At least if not all. Partners are also expected to identify their respective triggers. What will your partner do that can cause a misunderstanding? And what are the things you will do that will cause a misunderstanding? be ready to forgive and seek forgiveness both ways. Kì í ṣe ohun tó ṣe níjẹta mo forgive, ó tún ṣe níjẹrin. Last year wọ́n ṣe. Forgiveness is total forgiveness. Tá a bá tún ní padà sí, ó máa help wa. We are weak ourselves. Ṣàánú wa. Make efforts to strengthen the love and trust between yourselves. Don't involve third parties in your marital affairs, except where it is absolutely and unavoidably necessary. Where it has become imperative to involve a third party to your marital dispute, ensure the third party is an unbiased and knowledgeable person. Níwọ̀n bá ibi tá a rí, wàláì ní kékeré tèmi, ìdánwò náà la dáyé, ìdánwò náà la débi ọ̀rọ̀ marriage. Àti ibi tó jẹ́ pé ìmáàmù kan ló dẹ̀ ń tí ọkọ yẹn lẹ́yìn. Even where there are problems, àwọn obìnrin náà ní lọ́wọ́ àdìmẹ́rù, kò sáyè. Wọ́n ti ẹ wo ibi tán dúró sí. Gbogbo wa náà ni àti ń sọ kó bá dàbí ẹni pé ọkùnrin ni. Rights and responsibilities of the couple. Once you embark on the journey called marriage, both parties have their respective rights and responsibilities in the marriage. Some of these rights and responsibilities are mutual. Some of them, sociability, attracting the attention of your spouse. I was late. Pleasure and gratification, caring for children, and rights of the husband, providing financial. Spend on your wife, financial. Protecting the wife, financial. The way you know it, pleasure and gratification. It's both ways. I have an acronym. Tí mo fún ọ̀rọ̀ orí kìíní, àwa pè ní FRSC. Yes, FRSC. Yes, Federal Road Safety Commission. Because àsìkò ni. Mo ní the F is food and friendliness. The R is respect and responsibility. The S is sex and sex. The C is care. The F, I said food is about the woman. Friendliness is about the man. Of course, I'm good food. Nice one. Well said. On your love and loco. Amobe is from the woman. Etumbeshe. Ní last week, aláti dá ibì kan lẹ̀ wípé tó bá jẹ́ fún training ni, let the women start going for training. The men need it. Ó ti ń dalérú. Because we are working class. Kọ̀kọ́ wá dé kó di wípé òun náà ló tún máa bọ́ sí kitchen àbí ló máa lọ order. Àdàmọ̀páyé Gen Z nísìn. Èló ni 1 kg of vegetable your diet. Shawarma or diet. Àwọn simbi, our class winning. But friendliness is for the husband. Even if all these ones are served, be friendly. Kí ni àǹfààní ọkọ baálé ilé tó dẹ̀ wá di monster tó bá ti ń bọ̀ báyìí kẹ́rù dẹ̀ máa bàyà kó máa bọ̀ ọmọ kọ́ wá máa wá àfa ti ń bọ̀ stars ti ń bọ̀ ẹ̀rẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ we are together àjọba wà lùjọ́ náà ní inshallah. The respect and responsibility. Respect is for the woman. Responsibility is for the man. And that was why I was naming that. But the trouble saying there. Sex is for the two. Sometime while we were growing up, àwọn ìyá wa bí kí wọ́n pè wá jókòó láti educate nípa sex. Unfortunately, ó jẹ́ káwọn míì nígbà tí kò yé wọn ìta ni wọ́n ti ń kọ́ ọmọ wálé. Ọlọ́run kó má jẹ́ kí táwọn ọmọ wa rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Alhamdulillah Ọlọ́run ló gbàkóso ayé tiwa náà. Àmín ká dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Torí láàrin Èkó àmín Ọlọ́run ló ń tọ́mọ Èkó náà àbí ẹ ṣàmù Islander but alhamdulillah. Put down. It's beyond. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n wo television. Tí wọ́n bá wo nínú ilé wọ́n ń wo níta wọ́n dẹ̀ ń kọ́ wọn ní nǹkan tá a fẹ́. Unfortunately, abọ́mọtọ́mọ nísìn ṣàmù abọ́mọtọ́mọ. Àmọ́ abọ́mọtọ́mọ. Phone ni. Phone. What by 18-year-old daughter could do with the system. Wallahi bí pé 70 bóyá ni mo lè mọ̀. Ọlọ́run kò ṣàánú wa. Ẹ wo wọ́n ti ń pè. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ bíkà. Àwọn náà ni.
Our name, the single ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful moment with Alaja Zikrullah Matesun Oshodi. Put your hands together for her, please. She has been a wonderful woman. Zikratullah Matesun Awerini Oshodi. He has been a wonderful discussant. He has been telling us a lot of things concerning marriage, how we're supposed to manage our marriages and all that. A lot of things that are causing problem here and there. Yes, in a side, she's trying to accept the concept of marrying more than a wife, but on the other side, is accusing us of we should do it well. Yes, I'm still on that particular verse, Quran chapter 4, verse 3. Fankihu ma balakum minan nisa mathna wa thulatha wa ruba wa in khiftum fawahidatan aw ma malakati. Ṣùgbọ́n a rí pé ẹ fẹ́ méjì fẹ́ mẹ́ta fẹ́ mẹ́rin la máa ń tú kéwú dé. A kì í tú èyí tó kù ní ìsàlẹ̀. Allahumma ya Rabbi. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is an international conference in which a lot of people have invited concerning Allah ta'adilu fawahidatan awma malakati aymon. No. It's just for the love and the care for them. Yes, laughing for your con. So every Google sizes is lady. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can see it has been a wonderful moment now. We need to just trash it out because excesses of our brothers. Some people who don't have the capability and capacity. Somebody like Imam Shefiu, you cannot just be comparing yourself with Imam Shefiu Majemu. Imam Shefiu Majemu is a 3-star officer. Somebody that married 3 wives and give them a car, a jeep. Can you do that? You cannot compare yourself with Imam Majemu. We are going to have the panelists now, quickly. No. Wait, yes. We go to the panelists now. Yes, here we round up. We go to the panelists now. On that note, again, allow me to quickly invite now, to invite Dr. Mustafa Adebelo. Can somebody say Allahu Akbar? I will also invite Mokishi Imam Lata Jegule. Come on, Alan wa salam wa marhaba. Chief Imam Ajegule Central Mosque. Tibandri. Tibandri, you don't know about. Alan wa salam. Dr. Sheikh Mustafa Adebelo. He's a senior lecturer, Lagos State University, at the Department of Islamic Studies and Peace. You are most welcome. Yes, he's a counselor. Yes, he's also the Secretary General for Jamali. He's also the founder of Center for Islamic Theology and Orientation, if I'm not mistaken. I also invite another panelist now that will come up. I'll invite Sheikh Abraman Suleiman Adangba, Chief Imam, Chief Missioner at Adangba Central Mosque. He's also a married counselor, a prolific writer, a very wonderful speaker. No. A printer with. Is an author. Yes, let me also inform you about Sheikh Adangba. He was the personal secretary for Sheikh Adam for 17 years. When Sheikh Adam was alive, Sheikh Adangba was with Sheikh Adam when he was very, very small. A lot of us that are watching Sheikh Adam, you say, when Sheikh Adam will say, Abrahamani ban shibibeli ban ka, Afa Adangba ni Sheikh Adam na was in BSA1. I don't know my she in Tony Koka. Another panelist I also invite is Honorable Usman Hamza. Honorable Usman Hamza is the chairman of Fakoja local government. This is the a kid brother to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State. You're also most welcome. Honorable Small, you can see him, he's an ustaz, he's an honorable, he's a politician. You see, it's all in all. Imam Majemu, a man of many parts, is also the special assistant on Islamic matters to chairman of Akoja local government. Alhaji Samot is special advisor on inter-religious. I'm sure you collect salary, sha. Eh, the yaga magbo. We thank Allah. Let me also invite now Professor Saidullah Timothy. Yes, now to come and have a seat. A senior lecturer from Lagos University, Department of Foreign Languages, an associate professor. Yes. An orator par excellence. Orator par excellence. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have them on ground, we have the scholars. Okay, let me also inform you that when you say the poster, you find out that there is a Ajia Mariam Begore Ni Onikijipa is not around right now. She might join us any morning from now. So we are still expecting him. So the panelists now, let me quickly, I will hand over. I will start from Dr. Mustafa Bello. Yes. Okay, the moderator is there. Sheikh Ahmad Labib, Imotola, 3-star Major General, Abi. To be.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Once again I say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So it seems we are tired. If we are not, I would love to hear us louder. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So this is the panel session of the International Conference and Colloquium to mark the birthday of our noble Sheikh Al-Imam Sheikh Muhammad Shefiu Abdulkareeem Majemu. Inshallah, we have our panelists already seated. So, and I would take it the way the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam demonstrated when he said Al-Ayman Fal-Ayman Walau Kana Abu Bakr Fi Shimal. Inshallah, so on that note I will be starting from Al-Aqrab. That will be Dr. Mustafa Bello from the university, from the Lagos State University. So sir, how many minutes? Okay, so 10 minutes per panelist, inshallah. So your turn, sir. Please, the microphone is there before you, sir. Okay, so the topic is, pardon me, is the international conference. The theme of the day, your own topic, okay. I am having a problem with this thing.
Polygamy between traditional practices and westernization. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Let me start on the existing protocol. Thank Allah and ask Allah to grant His abundant blessing and benediction on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I join all friends, family, well-wishers globally in also congratulating Imam Majemu for this milestone. Our prayer is that Allah will continue to bless you, prosper you, protect you, and preserve you. And Allah will also extend such to all of us that are present here. And let me also say I've been lucky that I've had people speaking before me, laying the foundation on which I'm going to lay some of my own thoughts. The issue about polygamy is a vast discussion, to the extent that regardless of how you look at it, there will be persons who will be holding the shorter end of the stick. And that is why for me, I don't flaunt the fact that I'm a polygamist. I don't flaunt it because I also know that it requires a lot of responsibility. So I think the issue here, what I've been asked to speak to specifically, is about where are we coming from, where we're all coming from, and where we are and where we should be. Very many of us are products of polygamous marriages, plural marriages. My own father had 2. I'm sure some of you must have had parents who had 4, even more than that. Yes. So all of us are products. If we're all products of polygamy, and relatively we're all doing well. We're all doing well, regardless of what we have gone through as children, and with the intricacies and the contradictions in the polygamous setting. All of us were all doing well. And if we are all doing well today, why are we now becoming the apostles of campaigning vigorously against polygamy? And what I also see often is that there's this mindset that all of us, for reasons of our education and our orientation, we want to criminalize everything that our parents have done. I want to tell the world how our fathers have been so insensitive, how our parents have been so chauvinistic in the treatment of their wives. Some of us, we say it even glowingly. We are not afraid, or we are not mindful of the fact that we are projecting our background as being bad. Because of the fact that he or she witnessed how, in his own judgment, our own mother or his own mother was treated unjustly by the fathers. So these are contradictions. These are things that we see in our society today. But I tell people, whether we speak about it or not, polygamy or polygyny is a reality. People will do it either officially or unofficially. That is the truth. For those of us who are doing it officially, well, we are struggling with it. But for those of us who perhaps feel that for you to have what you call longevity, peace of mind, you just need to marry one wife. You know what you are also doing too. The Yorubas will say so all of us are in it together, whether officially or unofficially. So what are the characteristics of our own traditional setting? Some of us who have gone through it. One, our parents, they put their wives together. And I tell people that it's like the case of the marriage of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had all his wives within his household, and it could be within the same apartment, it could be within the same compound, and they have the luxury of seeing all of them together every day. And because of that, because these wives live together in the same compound, and they live in the same even room sometimes, or apartments, because they are exposed to one another, then the issues of rivalry, unhealthy, jealousy, and even sometimes fight, it could even result into violence. And it could also be diabolic, because they are exposed to one another. That is what all of us will go through. I came from a family that was the last born of my mom, and because of the fact that I was the last born, my elderly ones will always tell me, because you came very last, you may not know the evil your stepmom has done. I said, well, since I didn't experience that, I didn't witness it, so I may not be as careful as some of you in relating with her. For me, she's my stepmom, and I don't see any other thing about her than goodness. So that is what they tell me. They told me. So that is, and apart from that, you find that our fathers are really chauvinistic. And they needed to do that because they needed to stamp their authority and maintain discipline within the family. And for that reason, some of the things they do, which some of us query at that time because of our allegiance to our mothers and the limitedness of our experience about marriage, we think our fathers are cruel, are unjust, and the rest. Some of us growing up now, we now know the reasons why they did what they had to do at that time. And that is not all. Because of all these, there is usually unhealthy rivalry. And because our parents, at least I can speak for my own father, was not a rich man. He was not a rich man. By the standard of that time, he was not a rich man. I'm a son of a teacher. So my father was not a rich person. Within the context of even those who live around us at that time, I did not see him. But in fact, in spite of that, he had 2 wives, and he was able to maintain his wife and children. To the extent that at the time he died, I'm sure those of us who are his children, if we saw death that day, we would have donated our mothers to the angels of death. Take our mothers and leave our father. That's to tell you the kind of father that I had. In spite of being a polygamous father, and even yesterday I was telling one of my wives, I said, if any of my own siblings should marry a wife and fail to treat that wife very well, then that sibling we should query his paternity. Because at the time my dad fell ill on the 28th of a particular month, and we took him to the hospital and he died 8 days later. On his death, when we checked his all his what they call to look out for property and things, we found that the money was to give to his wife for the coming month. He had already appropriated it as at on the 20th of the month, and he wrote it on the envelope: senior wife, July allowance, junior wife, July allowance. That was the kind of person who who gave back to me. So for me, I think it would be wrong for all of us to now think polygamy as practiced by our fathers is the worst of polygamy. No, I do not want to share it. If you have a bad experience, it could be your own experience. Even those things you saw at that time that may look uncommon, by the time we are growing, we now know that sometimes people talk about marriage and people that you have to, what is it called, communication. I said, no, it's not about communication, it's about information management. Let me now come to westernization now, quickly. I am a polygamist, and I said I don't flaunt it. But because that is what pains me. I feel that is the way I can practice my Islam. And even in the understanding of that ayah that the chief Imam and the MC quoted often, if you look at that ayah, there are some scholars of exegesis who are of the opinion that polygamy is even the rule, not the exception. If you look at that verse, polygamy is even the rule, monogamy is the exception. Allah says, "Fankihu ma taba lakum minan nisa." That if you want to marry women that seem good to you, but the best you could have married would be 2, then or 3 or 4. But for those of you who are weak financially, emotionally, physically, and are afraid of consequences of marrying 2, 3, 4, marry 1. And that's why you find that many of the people who are monogamous today, I have friends who are monogamous, who are very close friends. They also tell me, Mustafa won't try you. I don't know wow. I don't bow you. But tell me obey, he has side. So this is the issue. So then when you really look at it now, then I tell people, polygamy, you have to now determine what do you do. And I tell people that from my own understanding, because and my interaction, you see, there is this, because there are 2 types of polygamy, or what you call polygyny. The one I've mentioned, traditional one by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second one is the polygamy of in emulation of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And if you check the Quran, the word Allah used for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Suratul Azab, uswatun asana. I think in Suratul Ibrahim, Allah used the same word for Ibrahim. That in Ibrahim and his family, there is Husuwatun Asana for you. So sometimes you have to now decide, is it the kind of polygamy of Prophet Muhammad you want to practice, where you have to put the wives together in the same compound, or the polygamy of Prophet Ibrahim, where you have to disperse them?
Allah.
Put the first wife somewhere in Lekki, and the second wife in
Abuja.
Abuja, so that perhaps sparingly will they be able to see themselves. So you will be the one, because you are the one in charge. You will be the one to traverse between the right and the left, and the wahala and the trouble that you have to bear. It is the consequence of the choices you have made.
MashaAllah.
For me, and lastly, addressing what my sister Alaya Zikratullah said, I think the issue here is that there is a concept of marriage that all of us, whether polygamy or monogamous, we are losing sight of. Is the concept of rahma. Most of these issues that people talk about, I also have cases of people who are in psychiatric hospital. It's not about polygamy alone, but sometimes most of them are issues of one man, one wife. People have forgotten that the basis of marriage is rahma. Love your wife, have mercy on her, be able to tolerate her excesses. Look, and I tell people, check Surah to Tahrim, Quran chapter 66. It took the intervention of Almighty Allah. Allah issued a yellow card to the Prophet's wives. It was a yellow card. Allah said, hey, in talakokunna atharabukum an yubdilakum asiwajan khayra minkunna. Allah issued a warning to a yellow card to all his wives,
MashaAllah,
who are troubling him, who are harassing him, tormenting him, oppressing him, that if this man should get annoyed and divorce all of you, Allah will replace all of you with better wives. It was that verse that made the Aisha of this world, the Hafsa of this world, to take dressing. So if Allah could come to the assistance of the Prophet in relation to his wives who are tormenting him, then what are you talking about your wife? So we must be able to not lose the fact that it is about mercy. So it pains us when people talk about the fact that Muslim marriages, because some of the things we say, Imam, when I came here, I was talking about the values of Islam. These are claims until we'll make them to be practical.
MashaAllah, these are claims until we make them, put them into practice. Say, Jazakumullah khairan to our lecturer. Please a round of applause for that wonderful delivery. You see, there are a lot of take-homes from his delivery, but one thing I will just take out of the many take-homes is polygyny is the rule, monogamy is the exception. Jazakumullahu kulla khair. Swiftly, I will be handing the microphone over to Fadilatul Sheikh Al-Imam Abdulrahman Suleiman Adangba, who is going to talk to us about the future of Islam and polygamy, our generation, and artificial intelligence. Bismillah, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And under that note, sir, I welcome our mothers from Magodo, Alhaja Umaru, Alhaja Mamadu, Marhaban bikum.
They are welcome. I used to say that when I say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you don't answer, I will wait at the gate of Al-Jannah to correct my salam.
Say it again, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I seek the indulgence of everybody to speak in the Yoruba language, because there is no way that if English explain to the ye, I will mix it. And the Aja Umaru understands Yoruba even if she's not a Yoruba woman. And Aja Mamadou too, I know them. You're welcome. Let us say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Surah Al-Fatiha. And Imam Shefiu, please stand up. This is dedicated to you for your birthday and what you have decided to do with the day. But chorusly, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin.
الإهداء لا يكون للميت فقط فإنما الإهداء أحيانا يكون للحاضر والذي في كيد الحياة. Ogun tá a kà yìí àbí tọrẹ fún yín Ọlọ́run mọ máàkì èèyàn kéèyàn stop láti 40 torí mablagu hayat al-insaniya when you get to the apex of existence is 40 years, but to those who believe in Allah is 50 years, because the Holy Prophet said everybody is gifted 100 years to spend on the surface of the earth. Then for some reasons best known to Allah and yourself is either decreasing or increasing. The Shefiu would use his own 100 years on earth, so it's marking the halfway today. And why he's getting that is because he has the rules. Only rules, man, and he don't so. And when you want to have that rule, it's not far-fetched. Just read Surah Al-Asr. Please read along with me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal-Asr.
Inside lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu.
That is Iman. Shefiu, please stay with your Iman.
Wa amilu salihat.
Continue this job.
Wa tawasaw bil haqq.
You are always righteous. You tell people to be righteous and truthful.
Wa tawasaw bis sabr.
You are patient and you should encourage people to be patient.
Mashallah.
So with those 4 rules, you are good to go. Your 100 is going to complete.
Amen.
Thank you very much for being here. And it is even good. What is the bane of our society? And if we are not careful, it's going to ruin us. It is very saddening to note that àwọn ìyàwó tó ń lo niqab tó ń lo no khimar, àwọn ni rate of divorce wọ́n ti wọ 56%. Very saddening. In fact, ó yẹ ká fa máa sunkún ni. Ó ti kó 50%. And if you go to Islamic societies, Muslim societies, to the north, the 5%. Within that same gap, SARS, MAS, Kilode. If education is expensive, ignorance is cheap, Abi. But at the aftermath, ignorance is more expensive than getting education. What do we lack? Education. Ajia Oshodi came here and she was talking emotionally with all her powers. It's like he should change it now. Go ahead, change it now. It's a long thing. Ibolo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ torí pé àtakò ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Àwa àfà mo sọ fún bàbá Kalejaye, àwa àfà àwa gangan la bàjẹ́ jù. Àfà tí ò fẹ́yàwó kejì tó bá náwó pé ọkùnrin ni mi ò tí ì fẹ́yàwó kejì, ẹ wá bi léèrè pé ṣé ẹwà ẹnìkan ló bá lórí láyé? Tó bá yẹ pé kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, kí ló ṣe fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ tí ò ti ṣe fẹ́ tó bá lò tí ò fẹ́ bí ìyàwó yẹn? Therefore, kì í ṣe Ọlọ́run ló.
Òun bẹ̀rù kú, òun bẹ̀rù ìyàwó òun, òun padà kú yẹn náà ni o. So let's take heed from here. Ọ̀rọ̀ bíbá bàbá Bello ti sọ, ọ̀rọ̀ polygamy is not a joke, it's the reality. And it is very, very saddening again to see that we live the reality these days for sentiments. And what is sentiment? Materialism. What is materialism? The fear of going poor. May Allah save us from this torment. So, kila jà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run ní ma atakumur rasul fakhudhuhu wa ma nahakum anhu. That is a general regimentation for humanity. Ọlọ́run ti gbé wa gbọ́ ọ̀nà tó tínrín. Kí wàá l'Ànábì wí? Ànábì ní tanakahu wa tanasalu fa inni mukathirun bikumul umama yawmal qiyamah. Níta Ànábì lóhùn fẹ́ nìyẹn. adúrú gbogbo wàhálà tánàbí ṣe nǹkan ẹyọ kan ló tọrọ lọ́dọ̀ wa tanakahu marry more watanasalu bring forth children more. When you bring them and you train them, you change the world. The futuristic, the future of Islam we are talking about. When we are not there, nobody will represent us. But how can we be there when it is 7 places and you have 1 wife and you have 2 children? You are only represented if you distribute them into only 2 places after you, which means there are 4 left. But when you have four wives and you have each 1 child from each wife, that 4 plus you makes it 5. So generally, you are occupying those spaces, and you'll be able to take care of those spaces because you have trained your children Islamic way. The Islamic ideology and methodology is what is going to be applied. As such, we have a nation which is kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tasamaku walau amana ahlul kitab. So all westernization is bastardization. I'm not running away from that. All westernization is bastardization, as just rightly said. But now, our westernizations, our westerns now, what change here? They are marrying 3 wives, 4 wives now. They have seen the implication. I don't know long. To buy a pori, Kanta Nebu Torolo, and Petana Karu, what an answer, for any Mukaterum Bikumul Umayom Kiyama. Don't over there, Gawasi Lagba, I want fair Wukan, Shah Shurifa Nebi. Just let's ask ourselves. Literally now, are we good to the Holy Prophet? So what are we afraid of? Èmi a máa sọ nǹkan kan fáwọn èèyàn wọ́n ní ńgbà tá a wà nílé kí wọ́n ti kọ́ wa wọ́n ní wàyí kí tó wàyí alátàdì ìlú àbí haba ó dáa mo fẹ́ ra iye aṣọ kan náà fún ìyàwó mi ìkan sanra tó tì mẹ́yìn ìkan dàbí Mustapha mo á doctor ó dàbí eré ni mo wá raṣọ ọ̀pá mẹ́rin tó ṣe déédéé Mustapha fún èyí tó ṣe déédéé tì mẹ́yìn ṣé mo ṣe déédéé. So ètò wọn pè ní déédéé in this aspect òun ni kò deal pẹ̀lú obìnrin yẹn alahasiba ibi tó ti mú wá. No, not that nǹkan tí mara fẹ́lẹ̀ yìí náà ni mara fẹ́lẹ̀ èyí tí wọ́n jọ rí nìyẹn. Gẹ́gẹ́ bàbá ti sọ a lè gbé nígbèta neb Muhammad tó súnmọ́ wa kó gbé síbi kan náà a lè gbé nígbèta neb Ibrahim tó jìnnà sí wa ká gbé wọn kiri èmi ní tèmi o mo gbé wọn kiri ni. Kí àwọn kan máa bùdó nǹkan méjì lóbìnrin máa ń jà sí the 2 things which belongs to them not you. Má tán ra you are not the person tóbìnrin ń jà fún. Obìnrin will fight for her toilet the she needs privacy and obìnrin will fight for her kitchen she needs privacy. ẹ̀yin kọ́ I'm not saying for women ẹ̀yin lẹ ń jẹ́ kí ó wà ẹ kí àwọn ọkọ yín mọ́lẹ̀ sorry ẹ fẹ́ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yín fún wọn tọ́ba láwọn fẹ́ yàwó kejì ẹ kí mọ́lẹ̀ ẹ fẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ yín fún tọ́ba múyàwó dé ṣé ìyàwó ló fẹ́ yàwó màá support ẹ kó fún lé tiẹ̀ kájọ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ kí ni kí la fẹ́ jà sí o ò lè lo 1 hour lórí iṣẹ́ yìí gangan tó pawápọ̀ wò lè lo 1 hour lórí at worst. Can only grow and excuse me Islam can only grow and dominate the world if we go polygamous. Islam will remain at the fifth general line if we remain monogamous. Then nípa AI one time you could 3 minutes abi. Nípa AI, just look at it this way. What is AI? Artificial. What is artificial? Fake. Tell you one small thing. Tell on damo scientifically. Montessori pé anything logical. Anything logical is natural. Anything logical is scientific. Anything scientific is natural, and anything natural is Allah. So artificial intelligence, is it logical? No. But we want to believe artificial intelligence. They want to fight it with their knowledge. Artificial intelligence is fake intelligence. Therefore, anything fake will not fetch us any good. And let me tell you, Bola ṣe that way. Ní orí wa yìí. In fact, njó ti tetrabyte lọ́lọ́rọ̀ fi síbẹ̀. Gbogbo wa ṣe. Àmàrántí ẹ̀dùn kẹwàá àmàrántí. Ó wà ń bẹ̀ níbo la store ẹ̀ sí, you can see it. But AI kò lè store ju tẹ̀ sọ pé kó store lọ. Yóò máa process kí ló jọ tó ń store láti represent ẹ̀ ó tán kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. But complexity tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ó burúkú. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá wá manage ẹ̀ yóò ṣe torí. But èèyàn ò ní ṣe torí Ọlọ́run sọ fún wa pé fa alhamaha fujuraha. Gbogbo sọ́ọ̀tù Shamsi tó fẹ́ sọ ni pé alhamaha wẹ̀. We taught that soul yóò pé kó mọ ohun tó yẹ kó ń ṣe àti ohun tí ó yẹ kó ń ṣe. So عرفت الشر لا للشر ولكن لتوقيعه صلاة سبحان ربك
رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. التكبير. Well, a round of applause if that will suit you. MashaAllah. We say Jazakumullahu khairan to our Sheikh. That's a versatile lecturer. You know, whenever he holds the microphone, you would not want him to drop it. You just want to hear more and more. May your ocean of wisdom never dry up. I mean, inshallah, so I will be going to our chairman, Ustaz Usman Hamza Ua. Okay, here it is UAS. Okay, so it has been changed. So the topic before you, sir, is Islamic polygamy system rejection. Rejection of Islamic polygamy system, the implications on our socio-economic life. Bismillah. 10 minutes.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Well, first and foremost, I want to appreciate the organizer of this program. And I also want to say happy birthday to him too. Well, let me go straight to the discussion. Well, first and foremost, there is a question that I want to ask. Sincerely, is it that polygamy is rejected? Or is it the Islamic polygamy that is being rejected? For me, it is the Islamic polygamy that is rejected.
Allah.
But people don't really reject polygamy. And I'll tell you why. My first reason is this. You hear it from our mothers. That is the saying. You hear it from them often. So for them, to us, they are actually promoting us to fornicate. But they are not rejecting polygamy. most of our women, that is what they do. They reject it because they don't want it, but they don't mind. Don't bring a woman home. First time I was still with my brother yesterday, and that was what the wife was telling him. You understand? Don't bring